What's up, everyone? Today we're here in Cheyenne, Wyoming at the site of a former Golden Corral. Most recently this was used as a daycare center called Little Einsteins, but they have closed up shop. I'm not sure what's next for the building, but I wanted to do a video of this place because it's a really unique building and it still carries a lot of the characteristics of Golden Corral. So we're gonna go ahead and go in here and take a look. Yes, in this case I actually was able to talk to the owners and be able to do a video. So yeah, as far as I've seen from the images in the newspapers, it does look like these doors might actually be original, but I'm not sure though. Alright, so when we walk in here, we actually have a little gate here that actually has an owl on it. Of course, back in the day, this would have probably been the dining area, but more recently as a daycare, this would have been used as kind of the play area, or maybe even where they had their naps or whatever. Over here you actually have the restrooms, so you have outhouse above both of the restrooms, which is I think probably a thing left over from previous occupants of the building, of course. Looks like this one was actually turned into an employees only one, but a long time ago I do believe this would have actually been the men's, since when we come in here there is actually a urinal in here. Of course, you have the sink area too. Man, I thought that light was on when I first popped in here, but I guess maybe not. Which I imagine is this one's probably the woman's restroom originally, but obviously they're just using any one restroom pretty much. This room over here would have, more recently, I was told, been used for kind of really youngsters. We're talking like babies and infants, basically. Looks like over here, though, they did actually have a little wash area that I have a really hefty hunch is probably a remnant of the restaurant that was here, of course, Golden Corral, and the others. They have another sink right here, right next to one of the entries into the kitchen area, that I also have a hunch is probably kind of obviously a remnant of the restaurant, but it looks like they were recently using it as a kind of a child wash area. When we come back here, this is probably one of the more original parts of the spot, where it definitely is like remnants of things from way back when. I'm sure the sink and a lot of this stuff is probably original, or probably close to it if it isn't. Obviously tiles, there's no doubt the tile is probably original to Golden Corral. Over here they do actually have a whole area where the grills would have been a long time ago. From what I was told, only like the 3 spots here on this hood actually work right now, so the rest of this hood doesn't work. You can actually see where they put not working there, not in working order, not in working order. So only the spots over here currently are operational from my understanding. Right now they obviously don't have grills or anything, but they still use this as kind of the kitchen preparation area. Well, that's a funny sign. Clock right here, of course, employees only for that part. Not a big deal right now because they're closed basically, but over here they do have a refrigeration unit set up, which looks like it's kind of storing all the food and stuff they would have used, as well as a storage shelf there. And they do have this little window area, which it most likely we are thinking was probably used as an area for dishes to be dropped off and taken wherever. We'll actually go back this way here in a moment, but I just want to point these chairs out. So when I was in high school, my my web design class, my programming class, we had chairs that were a lot like this. Of course, way bigger than these. They were probably the largest size that you can get, but still the same design. So I do have a certain amount of nostalgia for that particular type of chair. When we come back over here, there is actually an office area. So you got kind of a wash area here. We'll come back over here, and there is actually what appears to me, I have very little doubt that this is like a freezer, but it looks like right now it's mainly just being used for storage of various supplies and things like that for them. God, I wonder if this chair is from the restaurant. No way of me knowing for sure right now, but I have a feeling it probably is. Of course, over here it looks like another kind of storage spot, and back out here is where they actually would have had the hi. Back out here is where they actually would have had like the play area, playground equipment and what have you. And of course, I think this tag is probably from another
2 daycares ago.
Yeah, 2 daycares ago, I figured.
Then the one after them was Ambitious Beginnings.
Yep.
And then us.
Yep. It's crazy that's still on there. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and go over to this doorway right over here and continue. So from what I was told, this area was used as kind of an office / crafting area. It looks like they had quite a bit of books over here too, which have clearly been gone through a little bit. They actually have a little Tykes car here still. Now, this is a little bit different than the one I had as a kid, but it is similar, so it does still kind of remind me of a time when I was younger. I don't know if I'll be able to get a good view of that. I don't know if that's 3D printed, but that almost looks 3D printed. It says sold, so I imagine somebody's probably got to come pick it up. I was told that this is kind of like little seats, cots, different. I don't know what the official word is for those. Coming out over here again. So this doorway basically takes us back over into the main area. Post Optopolis here, there is a section of that building that we didn't go into, the very front. And it's because there's, I guess they had a whole bunch of people over to kind of have a little bit of a party type of thing. I didn't want to show them on the camera too much if I could avoid it. So just to kind of give them their space. But yeah, there was a whole section in the front part that, as far as I understand, would have been used as kind of a play area. But of course, these days, it's empty. And back at the time of Golden Corral, I'm sure it probably would have been part of the dining room, where you can actually see basically the entire, probably former dining room. I'm sure the dining room would have been set up here, but look at all the aesthetic that's up here in this ceiling. You just don't see that anymore. So when I was doing the research on this place, it looks like Golden Corral dates back to around the early 80s. It wasn't built as of 1980. I can actually see that in the overhead imagery from historic aerials. But Golden Corral would have been here for many years, as far as I can tell, at least into the early to mid 90s, maybe even late 90s. And then at some point at that point, I believe in like 99-ish, roughly, somewhere right around there, another business would have taken over. It would have been called Parry's, or also A&B Cafe, which is interesting. The directory is listed as A&B, but I found an auction ad that for auctioning stuff off from this place back then that actually would have actually was saying that it's Parry's. So who knows what the official name is. I'm not sure which one, if they overlapped or how that works. But after that, he also had a Chinese place. From what I was told anyway, it was a Chinese place. It's called Empire Buffet. And then from there, I can actually look at the 2007 street view from Google, and I can see that the place was vacant at that point. After that, there would have been 3 total daycares that took over, as well as Center of Cheyenne. So Sewing Center was very short-lived. They were only here for maybe a few months, if that. They moved over to the Payless Shoe Source building, and then Center of Cheyenne expanded to a second location for maybe a few months. It wasn't a very long living thing at that spot. They mainly focused on their Payless shoes former Payless Shoes location on Logan that ended up becoming Sewing Center of Cheyenne. And then there was also Little Einsteins that came after that, and that's the place where we're at today. Last weekend when I was here, they were actually doing, I think it was last weekend, they were actually doing a closing sale thing to get rid of a lot of the fixtures and stuff like that they had left from their daycare. And now they're pretty much kind of on the wrap-up spree at this point. So anyway, there's a little bit of a rundown of the history. So I actually want to show one other thing I forgot to show in this run around. So they actually have a really, really old desk, which sounds like it's gotten quite a lot of use. But they don't make desks like this anymore. This one does not seem to have the under storage spot unless this thing actually lifts up. It might actually lift up, but it does lift up. It does lift up, so it does actually have storage. And of course, you gotta love how there's this spot for storing your pen or pencil or whatever. Definitely a very different desk that you don't see these days, but a long time ago it would have been commonplace in schools and stuff like that. Yeah, just from a different time. Of course, these doors also still have the diamond shapes on them. It looks like the glass on this door was replaced, but the door itself looks like it was most likely original. And I think I might actually run out here and kind of show you the area just a little bit more. So from what I've been told, this Golden Corral here in Cheyenne was very different from the ones that we are familiar with in the 2000s, 2010s, where you would have a whole buffet line that you could go up to and get your food. I think this one did have like a salad buffet, but besides that, there was a lot more of the waiting people going on, right? Where you had a lot more of food being brought to you from the kitchen instead of actually going up and getting your food. I know at the Loveland one, you can get steak, you can get your salad, you can get your soup, you can get just basically all the food right there off of the buffet line, whereas at this one, as far as I understand, it just would have been the salad bar, if that. So definitely very different compared to what we recognize now, and the door just slammed shut. That's nice. So of course, coming out here, you also had the walkway that actually took you over to this back part. And this is where, again, where they had this whole, whole area set up for being outside and whatever. Obviously, this part would not have been quite this way in the day, but it is now. Let's go over here. I want to take a look at something. So when I came out here initially, I actually didn't notice this. We have two more of those chairs sitting here. Now, these could be a remnant of Empire Buffet. They could be from some other place that I don't even know. Same thing with the chair that's inside that looks just like that. There's just no way for me to know for absolute certain whether those chairs are original to this spot or not. Something that is of interest to me is that over here they have what looks like a shed, but this door makes it look more, and even the logo on there, International Cold Storage, this does make me think that this might actually have been another freezer room, which, you know what, it's not too uncommon for restaurants and stuff to end up doing a separate building that has like the freezers and whatnot. A lot of times I've actually noticed that over the years that going to various different restaurants, that is something that they'll do. If we come back over here, whoops, there is actually this bridge that connects up over here. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think they put this bridge in because a long time ago, there was another daycare type of facility in this building, and they were simultaneously in these two spots. Or it's possible that the same daycare that was over here was also used in this building. There's not, I'm not certain on that part just because I haven't looked into it. But a long time ago, I do remember when I was a kid, they actually did have like a outdoor area back over here as well, with various equipment and stuff like that. Again, these days it is another bargain lot, which I don't know, card lot, I don't know what they call it these days. Post Optopolis here, it looks like currently it's Squirrely's Autos. I think Squirrely's used to be at another location. And I think this sign here is actually a remnant of another auto lot that was here that was called DK's. Back over here, the building kind of has a somewhat similar look, I guess, to the front side, but it's obviously not as nice since it's not the front of the building. Yeah, I think I can get in this door, so we're gonna go back in. It's cold. I would like to give a shout out to my channel members. It should be listed right in this area. The support journey, make it easier to do these videos. And until next time, peace out.